Looking forward to today, lads?
Yeah, looking forward. It's good days racing.
Yeah, some great races. I mean, the great novice hurdle, and of course the big handicap chase, and competitive race in Limerick as well. So yeah.
How did Min come out of Goran Park the last day? I mean, he's had his kind of fair share of bad luck with injuries, hasn't he?
He has, but he's been 100% since. He's a more mature horse, a stronger horse this year. He effectively had a good school around in Goran. He didn't have much opposition, but he was very good over 2.5. His work has been good since. Dick Dowling, our head man, rides him all the time. Nobody else sits on him, but he's been in great form, and they're very happy with him.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how he goes today. I mean, he could be a real life contender at Cheltenham if he gets there.
He could be, yeah. He gets there. He's a good chance of getting there. Well, we know Duvan won't get there. And Altior is on the sick list at the moment as well too. Yeah. So he might get there. He looked exciting to watch him at Gordon. As Ruby said, he didn't beat much. It's just the manner in which he did it. And I'm looking forward to him, like you, Hugh, to see how he performs here today.
Races take shape. I mean, Politolog runs in Kempton today. Fox Norton went and ran in the King George yesterday, and he'll have to get over that. Going 3 miles when he plainly didn't stay would have taken a lot out of him. So, you know, with Duvan missing Altior having a question mark, the champion chase is wide open.
Have you always been a huge fan of Min? Obviously he was second in the Supreme to obviously a very good Altior at the time, but Willie always did say he thought he'd be much better over fences.
He was always very forward going. He attacked his jumps. He was a very good jumper. He won his novice chase or beginner's chase very well in Navan, and he came here then last year at Christmas and did pretty much what Footpad did yesterday. I thought he was amazing here last year, and then unfortunately he got bruising of a knee, of a bone. He didn't do any damage, but he got deep bruising at the top of his effectively your shin bone, which touches into the top of your knee, and we just could never keep him sound. But there was nothing broken or wrong. It was just bruising, and he needed time off. But look, he is a horse with a huge future, and of course I forgot, but we have a huge reserve in the yard and Undersow as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously brilliant in the Hilly Way Chase at Cork last time out as well. Okay, we do have a feature coming up with Gordon Elliott, lucky enough to go down to his stable last week and get the grand tour, if you like, and meet all the superstars, including Sam Crow, who of course we might talk about a little bit later on, but that's coming up later on with Gordon Elliott, and an amazing 10 years really he's had since winning the Grand National in 2007 with Silver Birch. Okay, let's go down to the betting ring, and Brian is there.
Yes, thank you, Hugh. Very good afternoon to you, wherever you are in the world, watching RTE racing and enjoying the festive season. It's a beautiful, bright, crisp afternoon here in the betting ring. Lots of energy and excitement as we look forward to Paddy Power Chase Day, of course, the big cavalry charge. One of 5 live races for you this afternoon, and that's at 3 o'clock, joined by Leon Blanche from Boyle Sports and Tom Lee. Let's talk about the big race, the Paddy Power Chase at 3 o'clock. What huge prize money, 110,000 to the winner. And lots of horses being supported.
Yeah, lots of horses being supported, as there always is in the big handicap. Bonnie Kate, 14 from 20s. Squator, very solid at 9-2. Barry Geraghty for Gordon Elliott. You must remember this horse went off favourite for the Kim Muir and was going nicely. And I think Polydam stepping up a half a mile after he won so impressively at Navan. Yes, he's gone up £9, but I think the extra half a mile here should suit him. But look, Brian, you could make a case for many of these races. Annabelle Fly, second to Disco in a Grade 1. That's fantastic form. I'm going to go for a horse called Bay of Freedom for Peter Fahey. He's around about a pony, 25-1 chance. Ran a great race in the Munster National. I just think at a price you want to look for something with a decent weight, and I'm going to go for him each way at 25-1. But it's an ultra competitive race, and so it should be for fantastic prize money on offer.
Tom, Squator, Polydam, the top 2 in the market, because they come into the race with a profile of potential Paddy Power Chase winners.
Never mind profiles, let's deal with facts. You like Squator, Barry Geraghty likes Squator. The creature's never won a race over fences. 7 times he's tried. It's all very well going off a favourite for a race he doesn't win. This afternoon he's got to do what he's never done before. And yes, I respect your opinion. I very much respect Barry Geraghty's opinion. And JP McManus, those green and gold silks were going in left, right and centre yesterday into the winner's enclosure. However, that would concern me if I was getting involved in that gamble. Polydam, the same. Stats against him. 1 of the last 7 carried 11 stone or more. So that's an issue that you have to be perhaps just a mite concerned about. Look at these horses at bigger prices who've been supported. Oscar Knight, last year's 3rd. Surely you've got to suspect that Tom Mullins, the trainer, is of the suspicion that this horse is relatively well handicapped off 136. Otherwise, why has he been keeping him over hurdles this season? Surely we'd have seen him jump a fence in preparation for this. Good winner the last day. He has his chance, well backed. 9-1 into 7-1, and Leon was absolutely spot on the money with the other one. Noel Mead, real welcome winner yesterday at Down Royal. His Bonnie Kate, 25-1 into what, 14, 16-1, something in that ballpark. She must have a real chance each way, a mover.
Leon, one final question. Any other horse throughout the programme that we should be keeping an extra eye on?
Well, I think in the bumper, unfortunately, RT will be gone off air, but Master Tara has been well back 15-4-1. But in the future Champions Novice Hurdle, the Grade 1, a horse called Real Steel, won his maiden in Thurles. That's the one they want to be with. 7-4 from 9-4. Hurricane Flies won it. Sizen Johns won it. The Great Istabrack has won this race. We might see a star of the future.
Thanks very much, lads. We have lots to look forward to for the next 2 hours plus. Don't go anywhere. Don't even put on the kettle, because you may miss a future champion and the first of those big races. Look at the prize money. €100,000 in total prize money. It's for the Paddy Rewards Club Chase at 1:15, won last year by the brilliant Duvan. Let's hope we see him back on the track. And number 1 this year is Ball Dark, the network gelding for Gordon Elliott. Jack Kennedy aboard. Good to see him riding this afternoon. 2 is Men. Paul Townend, your favourite. 3, Ordinary World, Davy Russell. 4, Simply Ned, Mark Walsh. 5, Tell Us More, Sean Flanagan. And number 6, Woodland Opera, the mount of a Robbie Power. Men, as Hugh alluded to, second to Altior in the Supreme. Third on that occasion was Bouvardere. Now that is form, Tom Lee.
At this exact moment in time, in excess of €20,000 queuing up to get on Min, somewhere in the region of 100 to 30 on. So he's considered the professional angle, really this solid weight of money queuing up to get on. That would assume all he has to do is jump around to win. But we saw yesterday horses at short prices coming a cropper in big races, and Min, of course, unbeaten in those 3 races so far over fences. But of course, he has to build on that win at Goran the last day. He was 1-9 there. This more credible opposition, the likes of Simply Ned, he's been placed in this race 3 times. The likes of Bulldog, don't forget, he's only rated £2 inferior. Good enough at least to give him a test this afternoon.
Absolutely, it's jumping. You've got to jump. Min has been very good so far, but one man who was in sparkling form yesterday came to Leopardstown, 3 winners, 4,334 to 1 treble. The man in question is the man from County Waterford, Henry de Bromhead, and he's speaking with Sally Ann Grassick.
Well, as you said, Brian, Henry de Bromhead's horses are definitely in form after yesterday. A treble on the card. Did you expect to have such a good day yesterday, Henry?
Certainly didn't. No, never would. But delighted to get it. And yeah, it was a fantastic day, yeah.
And looking ahead now, we have Ordinary World in this race. A big ask up against Min and Bulldog, who he's finished behind previously. How is he coming into this race?
Yeah, he's in great form. Very happy with him. Yeah, he was second to Min in this race last year. We're hoping for a good run. The ground seems nice for him, a lot nicer than it was at Naas, and he'll come on a lot for that run. So we're hoping for a good run.
We'll hope for a repeat of yesterday. Best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, so Ordinary World for Henry de Bromhead there with Davy Russell on board, who of course won the second race, the last race here, Tycoon Prince, and interesting to see how he gets on. But look, Min is the one they have to beat, Ted, and it will be a huge shock if he doesn't get home here.
Yeah, if he jumps a clear round, he'll beat these. I mean, unless something befalls him, that he's a different class. I think that he's a Grade 1 horse. These are good horses, but they're not Grade 1 horses. I think this fella is definitely stepping in the right direction. Whether he goes on and wins the champion chase, time will tell. But he'll take care of these here today with a clear round.
If you're looking for maybe something outside of the favourite, Ruby, I did watch Woodland Opera when he won last time at Punchestown in a Grade 2. Probably needs to step up. There he is with Robbie Power on board. He's a big horse. What do you think?
Yeah, he did. I think he's probably his best run was back in Punchestown at the end of last season over 2 miles and 5 when he beat the Galway Plate winner Balco de Flo and Aber de V. The last day in Punchestown he beat Tombstone, who was well beaten yesterday, and Colleen O'Darry, who couldn't compete in the handicap. I think he'll struggle at this trip myself. Tell Us More was a good horse at one stage, but I think those days are behind him too. Baldark Woodland Opera or Baldark Ordinary World are probably the only 2 that are progressing and could give Min a race, but in all likelihood they're going to have a race between themselves for second. Baldark was a decent enough novice last year, won the Dan Moore as a novice, the handicap, so he was thereabouts. Ordinary World was third, Altior was second in Naas in his last start to Baldark. I think the 2 of them are the ones to chase him home. Simply Ned's not getting any younger.
We had to miss out the first flight on the first race today, Ruby. You went down to have a look at it, and you saw how difficult it was for horses to judge.
Yeah, even from the original shot you had there from the bottom of the home straight, when the sun is directly in line with the home straight here, I appreciate that a horse's eyes are on the side of his head and his vision is completely different to a jockey's, but the jockey is still up on the horse, and when he can't see where he's going, it sends a mixed signal to the horse, and that's why they missed those 2 fences. There's a shadow on it, and the jockey struggles to differentiate between the takeoff board and the shadow. You see it there with the last hurdle. It's still bypassed. They'll be back in for our first race, and they just came around it in the first hurdle race, and they came around the fence in the beginner's chase. It looked to me like they're going to jump it in this race. They should be, because the sun has gone off to the right. It's not directly in line with you, so it shouldn't be affecting you the same way. I know the horses can see, but the jockeys can't, and that's not right.
Yeah, they're going to jump it, just confirmation. They will definitely jump it this time around, but obviously every precaution taken with these kind of things, and the right decision, you have to say, in the end, even though we weren't down there, but Ruby got a good look at it. So look, it's all about Min really in this one. Ted, we want to see him home safely and ahead of the champion chase potentially.
Yeah, I want to see him put up a nice sparkling performance, jump well and kick these out of the way if he's going to be a champion chaser.
2-7 now, strongly supported. Paul Townend for Willie Mullins obviously, and looking to follow up that last run at Gorham Park where he was a very, very handy winner. Might get a stiffer test today, but still the class horse in the race.
He is. Kick him out of the way. But winning is a great woman. Winning, not just do, no?
Yeah, but I mean, you're looking at it from a winning point of view. I'm looking for a horse that you're looking to be a champion chaser. You want to see him put up a good, clean, sparkling performance. I mean, realistically, you couldn't expect any of these other horses to be even placed in the champion chase.
No, but realistically, this is their Cheltenham. Minas has bigger targets to come into the spring, and there's surely a bit more there to work on. But any of these, this is their one chance at a grade one, so Minas going to improve.
Let's go down to the betting ring, lads. Any money for the favourite?
130 on Min in the betting room. Let's see what he's in the exchanges, Tom.
Yeah, 1.29, so just shy of 100 to 30 on. News filtering down to us. One bookmaker is praying Min gets beat. He's just taken a bet of €6,000 cash for a potential return of 2. So a punter here, you suspect the heart rate will be somewhat elevated as he watches Min strut his stuff in a few moments' time. The wager, 6,000 to win 2 at 1 to 3.
I can tell you, there's a few friends of mine here, and none of them have that kind of cash, so I don't know who's putting that kind of money on, Ruby.
How bad is he going? He has $6,000 in cash and he needs 2 more. God.
A nervous 2 miles coming up, so.
The late Lord.
All right, they're off. Tony O'Hare, take it away.
On the way towards the first fence in the Paddy's Rewards Club chase, and the red blinkers of Tellismore on the right of the picture. Min, the favourite, in the pink with the green spots. They're followed by the maroon and white stripes of Ordinary World. Simply Ned is next on the inside of Woodland Opera, and then on the outside Baldark as they come up in front of the stands. Good long run to the second, and Tellismore blinkered, disputing it with Min, and they're about 5 lengths clear of Ordinary World in the stripes. Baldark into 4th place. Simply Ned, third a year ago, he's last but one, and bringing up the rear is Woodland Opera as they go into the turn, taking them away from the stands. Tellismore, Min on his outside, and then a break to Ordinary World, followed by Simply Ned and Baldark, and finally Woodland Opera. At the second, Min and Tellismore met it all wrong and did well to survive. Remains now in 2nd place as they take the short run towards fence number 3. Min and Paul Townend in the lead. Tellismore, Sean Flanagan in 2nd. They're followed by Ordinary World and Baldark. Behind these, Simply Ned, the English challenger, and finally Woodland Opera in the blue colours as they make the turn, taking it into the back straight and onwards towards fence number 4. Min, the leader, about 4 lengths clear. Ordinary World has moved up on the outside of Tellismore. They're followed by Baldark, and behind Baldark is Simply Ned, and the break then to the back marker, Woodland Opera, as they meet the first of the 6 fences they jump down the back straight. Min in front by 4, followed by Ordinary World, then Baldark in 3rd. Tellismore has dropped back to 4th, ahead of Simply Ned. So they come towards the next, which is 7 fences from home. Min leads by over 4 lengths. Ordinary World is 2nd. They're followed by Baldark in 3rd. Then Tellismore and Simply Ned. Stood off that and lands with a lead of 4 to 5 lengths. Min, followed by Ordinary World. Then Baldark on the inside, the blinker Tellismore, and then Simply Ned, and bringing up the rear is Woodland Opera as they come to the first of the 2 open ditches. Min, the leader, Ordinary World in 2nd. Tellismore jumped sideways there, he's on the inside. They're followed by Baldark towards the outer, and then Simply Ned, and finally Woodland Opera. 5 from home. The hot pot Min over in front of Ordinary World, then Baldark on the left. They're followed by Simply Ned. Tellismore is back towards the rear of the field alongside Woodland Opera as they come towards the next fence. 4 from home. Min, the favourite, in the lead, jumps it well. Ordinary World over 2nd. Baldark is 3rd. They're followed by Simply Ned, and a gap then to Woodland Opera, who's relegated Tellismore to last place. Heading towards the third last, the final open ditch. Min, Ordinary World within a length. Baldark is close in third. Simply Ned is also handy in fourth place. Min, the leader, Ordinary World. Baldark, and then Simply Ned, a mistake by Woodland Opera. And Telesmore brings up the rear as they leave the back straight behind them and head towards 2 out. Min in front, Ordinary World a close second. Baldark is there on the outside, and Simply Ned in fourth. Min, the leader, Ordinary World, Baldark, and Simply Ned, and they're a long way clear of Woodland Opera as they race towards the home turn. And Min, the leader, Baldark moves up on the outside of Ordinary World. Simply Ned's only a couple of lengths behind them as they round the turn and head towards the final fence. Min, the leader, Ordinary World in the stripes. Baldark is in behind him. Simply Ned trying to make ground on the inside as they come towards the last. Min is the leader. Min and Paul Townend in the lead at the last. Over safely, Simply Ned is second. And we've lost Baldark there at the final fence. It's Min, Simply Ned trying to get up the inside there, clear of Ordinary World as they race into the closing stages. Min, the leader. Simply Ned running a blinder on the inside as they race up towards the line. It's Min and Simply Ned as they race to the line. Min wins it by about a neck from in second place, Simply Ned, and they're clear of Ordinary World a long way back to Woodland Opera, and Telesmore is tailed off. So there's Jack Kennedy on his knees. He should be on his feet shortly. Min has won, but he had to fight. Big run from the old boy of the party, Simply Ned.
Yeah, Min, of course, he was taken on over the first couple. He might have ran a bit keen. He wanted to impress a bit more than that. He was going to be a champion chaser, but he's won well. He jumped super every step of the way. Simply Ned has run a cracker. Just interested to see when we see the head on how tight he was, but there was no interference. He was just a bit tight there for on. What do you think, Ruby? Like, it was a good win, but and his lapping was good.
I think I should know better than most. It's putting away Simply Ned because of age, but he's running an absolute blinder. Min jumped like a buck, and the ones that took him on faded away, and Simply Ned came from the back to have a good go at him. Now it does get quite tight from here, but I don't think he interfered with him. No. Mark Walsh didn't have to stop riding him. Baldark on ships, Jack Kennedy there didn't have much chance. There is a Stewards inquiry. I don't know, it'll be interesting. Look, you can't comment till you see a head on. I don't think Paul was aware he was there because he looked right to see where Davy Russell was, but I think at the line Min is holding him all the way to the line,
and Mark looks on the side on view like he never stopped riding, and he's
here's the head on. Look,
see the head on.
Listen, fellas, you can only surmise till you get a look at it. Paul has drifted out off the rail. Hindsight, he probably should have kept in. He's drifted out towards Davy Russell. Mark Walsh has room to go there, more than a horseweight, 2 horseweights as you look at it. Now in the land you'll see Paul look to his right to see what's coming on that side. See, has a look, drifts in. Oh, he's on top. He's off room. He has enough room now again. I don't know, I'm not impartial, so I'm afraid I'm not going to comment much further.
Well, I'd say, looking at it, I'm impartial as well too, and I know both lads well.
I'm not impartial.
How far was the verdict?
Half a length.
I would say, looking at it, he'll lose it.
And I would say, look, being honest, and I'm very sorry for Paul Townend and Rich Ritchie, but if rules are rules, he probably should lose it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, in England, you mightn't lose it. They said the best horse won. But if Mark Walsh goes in and fights his case inside, he collided off the rail twice. He's coming to challenge. He hasn't got enough room. He tightens him up on 2 occasions. Paul keeps his stick in his right hand. And I'm a big fan of both jockeys. And he gets tight, and you can see the head on where the rail even disappears and bangs. Mark has his stick in his right hand there, gets up closer, and then he runs out of room again here. Now, he didn't have the room to get up there.
But look, the room was there, so Mark Walsh was fully entitled to go there. But now, even here again, after interfering with him once, and Paul Townend does know he's there, back in again he comes, lies on him 1 stride, 2 strides, 3 strides.
I'd say he'll lose it.
I'd
say he'll lose it.
So if he is to keep it, what does he have to persuade the stewards of? That he didn't know that Mark was he was beside him, or what?
He can't. He can say he didn't know he was there the first time because it's plain as day to anybody he didn't. But then he does know he's there. So the second time,
they'll say to him, why didn't he switch his stick when the horse was drifting in? Paul Townend should have pulled his stick through into his left hand straight away to straighten him up and get him off the horse, but he didn't do that. And I'd say, looking at that myself now, I would say that Paul is in trouble. I would think. I hope he doesn't lose it.
I'd be worried.
He doesn't look too happy as they come back into the parade ring, and Willie is going to have a word with him now, and I suppose this will be interesting to see if you're a fly on that conversation.
lot of talking will have to be done. And the rule is written differently now, right? Just to clarify, the rule is like, did you improve your position? Has the best horse won? That's what the stewards will be asking themselves. They won't take into effect that Min was a bit keen earlier on. That's nothing to do with them, but that is the way the rule is written. It's did you improve your position, and did the best horse win? Then that's the question you have to answer yourself. I don't know how you answer that. Did he improve his position? Has he cost the runner-up a half a length?
Well, I definitely think he has interfered with the runner-up. He's beat a half a length, and I don't think that anybody could say that didn't cost the other horse a half a length. The best horse probably won, but at the same time,
it's written a bit like the offside rule in soccer now, Hugh.
Okay.
It's like it goes with the attacking player, isn't it? The rule is written with the horse that's won. It favours the winner rather than the loser.
So they will give the winner the benefit of the doubt unless there's a clear case that
that's the way it goes.
Okay.
It does most definitely goes with the winner over the runner-up, in my experience. Now, and different stewards panels vary from all over the country, and a Leopardstown panel would be known to change results. Different courses don't. Leopardstown
you say that about Leopardstown. I was here one day with the Leopardstown stewards, and there was a worse incident than that, and they left the stand.
It took
the acting stewards on the day are Justice Tony Hunt, Peter Reynolds, Sean Barry and Sean Barrett. Now they'd be all experienced racing people, they'd all be regular race scores, and they'd all have a great knowledge of the game. They're not pulling these lads like out.
No, and this is going to be a big call, and these are people who have made huge calls. I mean, Justice Tony Hunt makes huge calls in his professional career. Mr. Sean Barrett is on Carla.
Yes.
In Cloncarla. You know, Sean Barry was registered at the Turf Club, and Peter Reynolds was Ballymacall stud. These are men who have made huge decisions. They're not going to be afraid of a big decision either. So it'll be interesting what they do, but I'd be sweating.
There's 39 grand in the difference depending on what happens in this stewards inquiry. We will hopefully have the decision for you after this short break.
Celebrate the Boyle Sports app being available in the...
Very welcome back to Leopardstown. If you just joined us, men first past the post in the Paddy Rewards Chase by a half length from Simply Ned, but serious interference from the last home. There is a stewards inquiry. It continues, Paddy Power and Tom Lee, and it's going on quite a while.
It is. You can see when the jockeys are walking back in, they're both watching the screen, getting their stories straight, getting ready to say mass when they go into the stewards room. But it's a shame we can't see what's going on, because I know in England they televise the inquiries now. I'd love to just see, even see by their complexions and their facial expressions how it's going for the jockeys. So it'll be interesting. I'd say Townend has a lot of explaining to do, I think, just on the look of it from our perspective, looking at the head on. He does bump your man pretty badly. I know on Betfair they were saying he was 1-4 at one stage for the races to swap to Simply Ned, then a drift all the way to 8-13. So no one really knows what's going on. There, you can watch it now. Look at this. So he bangs into him there, and there's another bad one, I think, just as they're coming up towards the line. When he actually comes in, he nearly smashes a bit of the rail as well. Here we are. Look, watch this now. Look.
We'd just love to be inside the stewards room now, flying the wall, or even listening to the conversation with Townend and Walsh.
I'd like to be absolutely plumb centre between the two of them, watching the actual theatre going on, because you see the way I am an absolutely fully paid up Townend fan, and yet surely you have to argue that the stick being in the right hand, encouraging the horse away to his left, squeezing up, taking the room away from Simply Ned. Penny for the thoughts as well of Nicky Richards, who's been so brave with this old horse. 3 years on the bounce, this being the fourth. He's brought him across here, third past the post, but the suggestion has to be he's going to be promoted to first, because starved of room, only beaten half a length, staying on all the while. Mark Walsh in the drive position, all dressed up, nowhere to go. I'm actually amazed it's taking so long, because you'd imagine that klaxon's going to sound and there will be a reversal, but until we hear it, we won't believe it.
I think, Ruby, what's your opinion? You believe, in fairness to you, you're obviously very associated with men, but before the break you thought this horse might lose it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any point in being stood between Mark Walsh and Paul Townend. I mean, that's like being stood between Paul O'Connell and Isan Atewa, or Peter O'Mahony and Isan Atewa, as they're making a debate to the referee. Where you want to be is between the referee and the TMO, listen to what they're saying. So what you want to see is the stewards' decision and how they're making the decision. There's no point in listening to the two lads making their cases. They're only going to say what they have to say to either keep the race or get the race. You want to hear the decision and how the decision has come to, and that's standing between the stewards and the steward secretaries, which is the TMO and the ref.
Exactly.
Chance we get that televised, like in
well, the stewards
Who
won't
knows?
allow that go on. I mean, the same way in England, they all talk about, the two boys talking about, we can see it in England. You can see nothing in England.
All you can see is two lads making their cases.
Jockeys making their cases. You sit down and see
soccer players, rugby players, everyone makes their case.
How the stewards came to the decision. That's what you want to see. Not the two lads inside trying to make for good television. Good television, my granny. It's what you want to see, what the decision the stewards are making.
And the accountability as well,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
why they got the decision. Okay, Brian, back to you.
Well, I'd also like to ask Ruby, what's the most important ingredient? Is it actually who's the best presenter when they go in there and make their case before the stewards, i.e. who's got the best communication skills? Is it the positioning of the whip hand, i.e. the fault of Paul Townend in terms of the fact he didn't put it through to his left hand? Or is it actually the disparity between the finishing distance, i.e. had it been a full length, perhaps he could make a more forceful argument that the horse never would have got there even with a clearer run? What's the most important ingredient, or is it a combination of the entire three?
Paul Townend's only argument is how far he's won, and he would have won regardless of the interference. So he's trying to put that out. The whip hand doesn't matter. Nobody ever steered a horse with a stick. That's one that we all come back to. No, and that's one people come back to. Oh, your stick was in your left hand, your right hand. You steer a horse with the reins, which are attached to the bit. So in theory, your whip should have went down. But Paul is arguing the distance he won, he would have won anyway, and Mark Walsh is arguing that the interference has cost him more than half a length.
If you're going into a steward's inquiry against a young jockey, a claimer who's no experience, and maybe getting them on a horse for a second time, and you're giving your case and the stewards are listening and he's giving his, like, they'll go with you.
What you do there, need to listen, and you listen for him to make the mistake, and then you hang him on the mistake he's made. Some more Mark Walsh and Paul Townend are experienced enough, they're not going to say it and stupid to hang themselves.
The jockeys shouldn't be brought in at all. They should make their own decisions.
We should.
No, you shouldn't be brought in. No, you shouldn't be brought in.
You're able to talk, you should be able to get it.
No, you shouldn't.
Or keep it.
You shouldn't be in there at all. It's no difference. The stewards should make their own decision. They have plenty of films. The jockeys should be left where they are.
Okay, let's go back to Brian.
Second placings have been reversed.
The placings have been reversed. No surprise, you've got to say. And I agree with Ted Walsh. The jockeys should not be brought in. The stewards are the stewards. They make the decision. Paddy Power, no surprise, he had to go.
I think that's what you would have thought was going to be the case, and it was the case, and probably fair in the end, because that's, as Tom said, Simply Ned's come over here and been bridesmaid a few times, and the form behind Sides and John and Divan last year didn't look too shabby either, so gets a just deserved, I think.
Feel sorry for Paul Townend, but he made a mistake.
Yeah, look, I just think that in all of those many hundreds of races Paul Townend's riding on high-class animals every season, these things can happen. It doesn't detract from his quality for 1 second. What we can say, as an absolute fact, Simply Ned, at the age of 10, a 16-1 winner of the Grade 1 here. What a brave horse. Excellent performance.
That will change the Queen Mother Champion Chase betting with Paddy Power.
Yeah, what it means now is Altior, by process of elimination, I guess, Altior is now odds-on favourite of the Queen Mum. You're kind of hoping Min would go around and lap them here, and then be kind of favourite nearly for the Queen Mum after that. But he's out to 11-2 now from 3s, so Altior 10-11 odds-on favourite.
Talk to us about the Paddy Power Chase. We have to go on because time flies on this programme. Squat Tour, Polydam.
Yeah, so Squat Tour has been favoured. We put him in short enough last night at 9-2. Barry Gardy chose that one of all the JP ones, and Jake McManus obviously has such a great record in the race. And Polydam then for the Willie Mullins team is a 6-1 second favourite. There's a big chance. But Oscar Knight was a mover in the anti-post market from 12s into 15-2, another JP colour. So I think McManus will certainly be in the mix-up anyway. Whether he wins or not, we wait and see.
Confirmation, Simply Ned, a 16-1 winner over Maine at 7-2 on favourite. Of course, if you backed it off the course with the various bookmakers, you'd have got paid first past the post and all those doubles and triples and accumulators. But on course, that guy that had 6,000 to win too, it'll be staying in the bookmakers' satchel because Simply Ned has been awarded the race in the stewards' room at 16-1. On we go.